another thing that it speaks to is about working through the group, because the human group is the most powerful means of healing. Human group is the most powerful ways of healing. So it speaks about how to run a small group. The book has a section, and everybody can learn from that, how to run a small group, right?
Oh my.
Yes.
That is good. And I'm a firm believer in that.
Yes.
You know, we are healed through community.
Yes.
And we are made for community and not isolation.
Exactly. So that would include the family, the like marriage enrichment groups, for example. Yes. You know, it would include like family clusters where family groups can come together, right? You can have groups with special like month groups.
Yes.
And groups with special concerns, right? So all these different types of small groups, you know, and even sometimes looking at special issues relating to aging, for example. You know, sometimes I'd love to get together with a group of older people for us to talk about what is involved, you know. So using the small group technique is spoken about as a neglected way of healing. So those are some aspects, right? Neglected priorities, yes.
Awesome. I mean, it's like, you know, a dozen books in one. And so it's a great deal to be able to get all of that. And so I noticed that you described the book as a manual, Dr. Allen. So can you tell us a little more about how you envision then it being used by pastors, minister teams? You alluded to some along the way, or even the congregation as a whole in terms of the manual component?
Yes. Well, it is written both with the theoretical content, the science and the theology, but then it gets into the practical, hands-on, right? So there are a lot of diagrams in the book. As I said, you have the different sections, dealing with different aspects, and the descriptions of how to do this way, that way, different steps. And then you have a lot of diagrams in the book that explain the concept. So you can see it in diagram form as well as in written form.
Yes.
And then you have tables, like, you know, in promotion, in the physical aspect of promotion, what you can do, you know, in the psychological, social, and so on, what you can do in each area, promotion, cure, rehabilitation, prevention, and so on, you know. So all of it is spelled out in diagram form as well.
Fabulous.
Right.
And so I can see you are catering to the different kinds of learners, the visual learner, the one who likes to see images versus the one who will just read, and then putting it all together. Of course, again, an integrated approach to an integrated topic.
Exactly.
Very, very good.
And you have the appendices that a list of appendices are in the contents that go deeper into the practical ways of doing things, instead of putting everything in the chapter. So check the appendix for the deeper aspects of it.
Yes.
You also have a list of tables and figures, you know. So if you want to check a certain table, you can look at in the contents and go back to it.
I can see why it took 10 years to do, you know, because it's not to use our Jamaican parlance, not a fenke book at all.
No, not at all. No.
Substance. It's they use an older word that maybe young people don't know, an encyclopedia in and of itself.
Well,
you know, in some ways.
Yes, it's
a practical workbook manual.
Yes.
So therefore, is it best used in a group setting, individually, or part of a training series, or all of the above?
I would say all of the above, because each person can read it by themselves and benefit both personally and in what they do. And then in groups, you know, it can also be used in the different groups in the church, and also the different teams, those in the prayer team, those in the medical, those in the pharmacy, the different teams can also use it in relation to it, and to also have a view, because each aspect needs to have a view of the whole thing. Because you can't say that because you're working in medical. You can tell the person, well, these are some aspects for stress management.
Yes.
There are some aspects to manage your finances.
Yes.
You can refer people to the different, but give them some tips.
Excellent.
Each person can have a whole person approach, whoever they are relating to, even though they may not be a specialist outside of their area, but each person can also be a whole person healer.
I like that. I like that. So we don't get too caught in the tunnel vision kind of approach. And I'm only staying in my lane. Yes, there's a part to stay in our lanes, but we need to be aware of the other lanes.
Exactly.
And to be able to at least give a little insight and share. And we might be the only person that the person comes to. So at least we can start them off. And then once we have whet their appetites for the other areas, then we can point them in the other directions for more.
Yes, and the book has a very good section for resources.
Nice.
Different websites you can go to get a whole lot of other information and techniques, and other books that one can buy, that will help. And the Kindle version, well, of course, it has the direct links that will take you to the different websites and so on,
Oh.
The Kindle version costs $10.
Yes.
And, you can put it on your device. Some people don't like that. They can get that on the book itself,
Yes.
Because if you might be driving on the bus or somewhere where you may not want the book around you, but you can look on your device as well.
Absolutely. And some people have the Kindle app, so they even get it on their phones.
Yes, you can. Kindle app is free, so you can just download it,
Exactly. It's really wonderful. And you were speaking, about diagrams and so on. Any other specific tools, exercises, or discussion questions within the manual as we're wrapping up this section that you'd like to highlight?
Well, I think that the summary and the introduction would provide ways of then getting questions that you could write. You could look at those and then look at the main points, and then whoever is discussing it in your discussion group, you can tease out questions for each section. And whoever might be using it to train, you can tease out questions, right? So what you have to bear in mind now is that what we are hoping to do in terms of taking it further in terms of training is to set up a curriculum, right? Yes. And also in the curriculum now you would have things like PowerPoint and different things, like a handbook. Well, this is a handbook itself, but a workbook, a kind of practical workbook that one could use in conjunction. But that is for people who are coming together for further training.
Yes.
Remember, each person can understand, but then part of the value of being in a training group is that one can say, oh, I tried this and it worked this way. Oh, I tried that, and we learn from each other.
Absolutely.
We reinforce each other. That's the value of the training.
Yes, that makes sense. And I can already see like a whole denomination putting on a training for their leaders.
Yes.
And so people would be sharing, okay, in the rural context, we modified it this way.
Exactly.
And in the urban context, in the big church, in the small church.
Yes.
And so we get different things. Okay, we didn't have this, but this is how we modified to deal with it.
Exactly.
And enrich each other.
Yes.
And then within the congregations now you can also break it down in different ways.
Yes.
In our small group we did it this way, but in another small group we did it that way to learn from each other.
Yes.
And make it our own.
Exactly. And how you can start small.
Yes, that is the thing, you know, because sometimes people just look on and say, oh, this is too big. This is too big for me. No, I hear you saying, start small, start where you are, start with who you have.
Yes. And the book has a section on that, you know, how you can work without a doctor, without a nurse, without a counselor. You know, what you can do, even in the rural area or wherever. You can start small. Anybody can start a whole person healing ministry. That is the beauty
so
of
important. Yes. That is so important. Thank you so much for that, because as we think of the healing congregation, this integrated approach to whole person ministry, I am already inspired, and I'm sure that many others will be to apply these principles in many ways. And in fact, we look forward to, and I suppose you'll have the opportunity for them to send in their responses as to ways in which they do it, so that you can build on it, because I know that's another way. And we invite people to do so as they learn. Okay, this is how we did it. And we build on it for the next edition.
Exactly. That is it. Very important. Yes, indeed.